Smeargle battles are always crazy, so let's keep Fan Fridays moving along with a battle from Justin, and he has submitted another battle as well, so we'll see where this one goes, and maybe show them both. Alright, Articoden is issuing the challenge, and brings out the Deoxys right there. I believe that was a Timer Ball Deoxys. Those are days back when you just like Timer Ball everything, stall it out to 50 turns, get that Timer Ball in there, and you're gonna win. But the Psycho Boost from Deoxys wants the mad damage. Smeargle gonna survive it though. That's impressive, and gets the Spore. Either way, Focus Sash on that Smeargle, gonna be a thing. And the Spore will put Deoxys to sleep, and that means you're gonna move into that Moody. No speed? No speed. Like, if you get the free speed on the Moody, that's just an instantly won battle from the Smeargle. So Deoxys is going to be asleep, and that's going to be the agility on Smeargle. Honestly, though, you need to use agility first because it means one less turn for them to chance that wake up. So just a little tech on that Smeargle, and then defense is going to drop. So Smeargle has lock on. I mean, if Deoxys doesn't wake up this turn, very bad things are going to happen. Deoxys is still asleep, and that means you get a Sheer Cold next turn. If they want to switch out, they have to risk switching into a Sheer Cold, and then you still have the field advantage. Also, switching out into Sleep Pokemon, so then you just put their other Pokemon to sleep, and everything's all good. So there we go. That is going to be a Sheer Cold, and it's a one-hit KO. Is Smeargle going to go all the way? Is it going to get the sweep? As we got to feel, accuracy doesn't really affect Sheer Cold at all. And Lugia is going to come in. Now, once you get the opponent down to the last Pokemon as well, that's going to be a GG right there. Smeargle gets the Spore, already outspeeding because of that agility. Like, the worst that could happen is if your speed drops from the Moody, but, you know, it's worth it if you get that speed boost first turn. So, Lugia still asleep. Smeargle's Moody is going to give us special defense, and it is going to drop our speed. Should still outspeed. Wow, wow. We don't even risk that lock on. We just threw out the Sheer Cold. All right, gets that 1 and 3 right there, and there we go. So, interesting how, you know, Sheer Cold has like 30% chance. And then lock on Sheer Cold, that's taking 2 turns. So, technically, you could like 2/3 that one up. And now we just go into the Hoopa. Hoopa getting outsped by the Smeargle on the Spore. And since it's the opponent's last Pokemon right there, you just lock on Sheer Cold it. I guess maybe expecting a switch, but didn't really matter because we still got the KO on the Lugia. And that is how you Smeargle sweep beautifully. Like, there's nothing the opponent can do right now. That's going to be a lock on. Like, unless they wake up, which could happen, but probably won't. Smeargle, yep, that's going to be Hoopa being asleep right there. Lock-on's already set, and then the Sheer Cold will win the battle right there. So I'm going to go and start getting the next battle code if I can find it. Awesome. Yep, Sheer Cold lands. That's all you need to see. That is going to be the GG. Okay, same team. Let's go and see what Justin's capable of with this Smeargle once again. Like, you just bring the Smeargle. It's not going to work every time. It's not like the craziest Pokemon. Well, actually, it is the craziest Pokemon. But either way, you can let some fun things happen. And against the Gengar, Gengar's not really going to be able to do too much to the Smeargle. So let's go and watch what happens. That's going to be Mega Gengar. I mean, if Mega Gengar goes for the trap, though, like the Perish Trap, like, I don't see anything really working out right here. So that's going to be Gengar with a Hypnosis. Smeargle's going to avoid it, but the Spore comes back. It's like, all right, I see your 60% chance to put me to sleep, and I'd raise you 100% chance to put you to sleep. Again, kind of slacking on that agility. Honestly, I think that's the way to go. Unless, if you get that speed boost, though, on the turn you use the Spore, it could work out. Either way, that's going to be into the agility. Gotta risk the opponent wake up right there, but we're now outspeeding pretty well, and then we can just lock on Sheer Cold, and we out-cheese the Cheese Master is how this one plays out. So Smeargle's got a lock on. Why didn't it aim for the eye? Like, the eye is looking like a very vulnerable, it almost looks like a target, just to kind of go and tap that Gengar right there. Yeah, just might want to do that for Pokemon Sun and Moon, just saying. Well, we already know what's going to happen here. You know, Smeargle, it has lock on, gets the outspeed, going to drop that Sheer Cold down, and boom, it's a one-hit KO. Gengar is going to fall, and I was just trying to look for something to say, since it's the same thing over and over again. Now we just get to see the fancy ways that it happens. Now, Jolteon, well, Jolteon, ooh, is the opponent bringing those hacks? Because, I mean, if he's got the shiny Gengar and shiny Jolteon and the shiny final Pokemon, this might be the ultimate way of shutting down the opponent's shenanigans right here. So that's going to be Spore. That's going to be Lock-On. That's going to be Sheer Cold. Or are we going to do that? Does he like doing that like the second time you just throw out the Sheer Cold just in case the opponent switches? Because if your opponent switches and you throw out the Sheer Cold, amazing things will happen. Wow, the Jolteon is faster now. And Smeargle with the straight Sheer Cold into KO twice. It's bold. It works. I love it. Because if the opponent doesn't like want to fall for that again, you know, they feel Lock-On's coming, they switch. Well, then that means you get to put them to sleep. You can throw down another Sheer Cold. 2 Pokemon are asleep. And then you still have a lot of Sheer Colds going for you. And, of course, shiny Greninja. Floats on the air with an air balloon, but it's got the Spore. So, air balloon Greninja, new meta, but it's not going to work against the Smeargle right there. Greninja's asleep. Not much you can do about it. There's a Lock-On. That's a Sheer Cold. And what do you know? Battle's going to be over once again. So, special attack going to raise. Attack's going to drop. Lock-On. We've seen it. And this strategy is so cool, honestly. Oh, puns. Because Sheer Cold. Either way, the strategy is pretty awesome. Because, I mean, once you get that Spore agility, or agility in the Spore, the opponent needs priority. Even then, okay, Greninja wakes up. But Smeargle's going to avoid it. A little bit of evasion from earlier. Sheer Cold's going to land regardless. And because the opponent went for the status, like, if your opponent is leading any kind of status, any kind of setup, the Smeargle just dumpsters them. Oh, it's a tanky Pokemon that wants to set up a stockpile, like Calm Mind, Stealth Rocks. The opponent's going for any kind of setup or risking it on a low accuracy move like the Hypnosis. Smeargle says, okay, I still have Focus Sash, so even worst case scenario now, I keep surviving. Like, you really need priority to take this thing out. I also want to drop in this battle from Jordan and his Hawlucha Sweep. I feel that just kind of putting it up on its own would be a little too fast for a video. But now we can go and see the rest of this one play out right here. So yeah, even though it's a 6v6, I mean, when you sweep a 3v3 or 6v6, it's a couple turns of setup and then you win regardless. So Hawlucha is the lead. And if he's calling a Hawlucha Sweep, well, then it all makes sense of how fast it's going to go. And that's a Swords Dance. Alright, Swords Dance, taking the hit, acrobatics, shenanigans. Also, my 3D is on, which is why it's looking a little laggy. And Hawlucha not going to be affected by that because it's still a flying type Pokemon. So it goes for another Swords Dance. I guess it does have that Focus Sash or something. But then you go into the crunch. Wow, Crocodile. It's at an extreme disadvantage against a Hawlucha. Is it red card? Is it what? Like, I guess Hawlucha's just going to keep going for Swords Dance. That's the thing that'll happen. And then Crocodile with the Outrage. So finally converting on that Outrage. Try to get a lot of damage in there. And Outrage still not going to be enough into the Drain Punch off of that Hawlucha. And dumpstered. So yeah, when you hit that much on the +6, because like 3 Swords Dance, that's a Drain Punch for the KO, and then it's just going to be over from here. Next Pokemon up is going to be a Blastoise. Blastoise is going to eat a Drain Punch as well. Yeah, that's right. I'm not seeing, like, I guess since Focus Sash didn't go, you don't have the acrobatics. I prefer the White Herb Sky Attack. Like, you Swords Dance, survive, White Herb Sky Attack, acrobatics, stuff like that goes pretty well. But in the situation we get the Swords Dance, then you can just Drain Punch, High Jump Kick, acrobatics your way to victory pretty effectively. But I mean, Hawlucha does a lot of really cool things like that. And I just wanted to show it off because I love Hawlucha as a Pokemon. Doubles, it has a lot of powerful, like, comboing potential and a lot of supportive capabilities. Wow. That is a Mega Houndoom. We do not see that every day either. And I just like showing off, you know, Hawlucha, if it gets that Unburden boost, it becomes, like, ultra, even mega faster than it normally is. But it looks like we don't even need it to sweep sometimes. So there we go. Just adding this one on Smeargle. Smeargle already swept through some teams. So we're going to do that with a Hawlucha as well. Showing off some more fans since I get overloaded from submissions. And this seems like the best opportunity to show it. Hawlucha with Drain Punch. There we go. And we're almost done here, guys. We're almost done here as he brings in the Deoxys. Deoxys might outspeed us then. No, wait, that's not speed form. Hawlucha goes for the Iron Head, though. Drain Punch isn't going to work against the Psychic type, so we have the Iron Head for that anti-fairy coverage. I mean, we use that against the Xerneas, and bad things are going to happen to the Xerneas. Actually, ooh, so if that is Focus Sash, Xerneas Geomancies, But then you eat the Moonblast, you survive on the Focus Sash, you get the Unburden boost because of the Focus Sash, and then you just mad damage into that Iron Head, and Xerneas goes away. I like that. I like that idea quite a bit. Either way, that's what we had for this episode of the Fan Fries. Still got a couple more battles coming up, and I do want to talk about that Smeargle a bit more because that Smeargle was really awesome. It just shows that, okay, while it isn't the most unstoppable thing, in 3v3s, it's a lot stronger. In 3v3s, you don't have to worry about running out of PP on the Sheer Cold. That's one of the things that limits it. I've lost battles because, first off, I didn't PP max my Sheer Colds, and then that came to make me lose like 3 battles, which was really annoying. But even with PP max, you know, there's more opportunities of you missing 3 Sheer Colds and landing it on the 4th, or even worse if your opponent's trying to switch around a bit more. You know, it feels worse when 2 of your 3 Pokemon are asleep compared to 2 of your 6 Pokemon being asleep, and there's a lot more things that can stop it if you bring the right things. But in the end, with that Smeargle, if your opponent is not prepared, it just wins you the battle, so you might as well bring it. Even though it can get shut down, it's going to find a KO, most likely going to get 2 KOs. If not, it's going to get a KO and put an extra Pokemon to sleep. Like, it does a lot of, it puts in a lot of work for your team. I don't know what else there is to say about that Smeargle, but I believe that's what we have right now for Fan Fries. Again, a couple more battles coming up in bits, so I'll see you guys in those, and yeah.